is actually going to be a switch up here. So they aren't going to try and blanket Huni. And it looks like he will get one of those.
He'll get GP or Rumble or something.
Yeah, most likely the case here. Aatrox. So it looks like the bans aren't really much different than they were last time we had the teams on this side. TSM have always opted to ban a Collie or first pick it, and when they're not on blue side, they can't first pick it, so it's the ban list yet again. TSM one final option, and Rakan goes off. Again, not allowing the Xayah Rakan duo for Clutch here.
I think Clutch are going to be fine with that. The Sivir has been looking good throughout the series thus far. It does seem like TSM very likely will get their Sejuani again as long as they want it, because Clutch really, you know, as Amazing was talking about, have not been prioritizing it whatsoever throughout the split. Will be Sylas first pick. This is the same draft we saw, you know, first pick when they were blue side in game number 2, I do believe.
Yeah, and Lira played it so well. TSM had a lot of very good ultimates for him to steal. You know, Sejuani, Braum, all these things. We'll see if that is the case this time around. It's always a little bit riskier when you blind pick the Sylas, not exactly sure what you're going to get.
Well, there's a change here for TSM this time around, grabbing the Sivir for themselves, finally pushing Clutch Gaming out of something different for Cody Sun down there.
Yeah, and this was actually Zven's most played during the regular season. The most played for Cody Sun was, in fact, the Xayah. They've already pre-banned out the Rakan, so trying to at least deny the duo, even if they will allow the Xayah to come through. But something we did see Clutch play quite a bit of was actually Xayah as well as Nautilus as the duo, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that go through. And without Jarvan on the ban table, Spica will be selecting that, so no more Sejuani for him.
Yep, changing it up here without being prompted by Clutch. Jarvan definitely has a lot of early possibilities. Go level 2 ganks even. All right, there it is. Huni's throwing it down.
Nope, no one surprised at all. Rooney back on the top lane Rumble. This is game number 9 of the split, counting playoffs, well and above anything else he's played so far. So one final pick for Clutch Gaming. Is it bot lane? Is it a marksman for Cody Sun before that pool gets narrowed down even further?
I think it will be. I'm expecting Xayah, honestly. We could see, you know, him go a different direction, but okay, interesting. So Kaisa, so much more of that scaling pick, you know, going to be going heavily for that late game. We'll see if he does elect to do the tier build, but this also pairs up well with the Nautilus that Vulcan does like to play quite a lot. Apply that CC, have the Plasma as the follow-up, Rumble, as well as Sylas want to be kind of diving in. So this is a champion that can follow and try to help assist in that backline assassination.
Yeah, we did see Clutch Gaming utilize this pick effectively in the summer split, allowing Cody Sun to jump to a lot of these skirmishes in a high-paced game. Braum is going to be the lock-in here. Once again, though, TSM, again, you want to deny the Braum from your opponents if you are the one playing Sivir as well. So it makes it a good pairing.
It is going to make it one good ult that the Sylas can steal, though. Last game we saw this for Lira. He was stealing Sejuani into Braum and Sejuani into Braum and had hard CC for the squad they needed so badly.
Jarvan's actually pretty effective too, especially when you're considering that it is a Sivir. You know, there's no dash from Sivir to be able to get out of that ultimate. So you steal the J4 ultimate, you're setting up for the Rumble very effectively to be able to drop the equalizer over whoever's locked in there. So already, I do think that Lira has some pretty effective ults to grab.
All right,
plays out.
They're trying to ban away some of the Damonte champions here. Kiana was effectively used last time they had set up with Rumble and Sylas. Aurelia's the first one TSM banned out. Will they follow it up? Azir here banned away from Clutch. They think TSM is going for that straight up team fight, and they're going to need some AP threat. I think that's exactly the way they are trending.
Well, Alistar, of course, very good in the server specifically. You can headbutt, you can spell shoot the headbutt, you can't spell shoot the pulverize. So if you're going to play an engage bot lane support, Alistar is the best in the server.
But that you're going to say, if you can headbutt a minion, you can headbutt and pulverize Sivir as well.
That's also true. That's also a possibility.
Yeah, and it seems like they're not worried about the Kiana, given that Bjergsen should have last pick potentially. You know, if you think that he would be going that direction, Bjergsen would at least
top
get
lane
his
here, right?
choice.
So you get to kind of pick top lane anyway. Vladimir, looking like the hover right now. Broken Blade had some good Vlad games.
And this is an incredibly strong team fight combo. When you do have the Vladimir as well as the Sivir, and the Vladimir ultimate is ramping up all that damage, it has the damage amp for all the Sivir ricochet damage that's spreading everywhere, and can be quite strong.
Let's say that TSM are going to have to work probably without some lane priority early on, though.
Yeah.
Depending on what they lock in last pick as the final piece. Looks like Clutch Gaming, especially with a Rek'Sai lock-in, definitely going to have a lot of options earlier.
Yeah, so this means Sylas will be a solo laner. You know, they're going to be sending that Sylas to a solo lane. Very likely will be mid lane here for Damonte, but we've seen some lane swaps from Huni and Damonte already. Nautilus as expected, no surprise there for me. But this is a lot of dive. This is much more early game focus, I think, than what we were seeing out of TSM. Rek'Sai, powerful early game jungler, paired up alongside the Sylas and the Rumble, who do have good push in the early games, can get active and try to really, you know, flex those Rek'Sai muscles.
Corki not going to be a big surprise. Pretty much the king of mid lane in the last few patches. Phreak's going to reprise his role on that champion. Should have a pretty solid matchup in most things. Good pushing, good safety. And as long as Lira doesn't land some really good flashes, should get away from most jungle ganks.
All right. I like the lane setups actually for Clutch here. TSM going with a lot of later power. We'll see if they can get there. Coming back, winning their must-win game, forcing us here to game number 4.
Yeah, TSM's draft feels somewhat similar to me to what Clutch ran last time, right? You know, Tristana, Sivir, as well as the Azir. I do think that this is kind of filling a similar role in that your team fighting late game is going to be incredibly powerful, but you have to get there. And, you know, if there is any bump in the road, you fall too far behind early on, the team fighting and early game power, I think, coming out of Clutch is going to be absolutely enormous and could allow them to run over TSM.
All right, well, of course, you can't switch things around anymore. It is going to be Huni on Rumble yet again. No one's surprised here, but always want to see him on that champion. He's very good at it, and it's always a pleasure to watch great players on their signature champs right here. We get Damonte back on Sylas, which will also be a very exciting sight here. Still a must-win game for TSM. Backs still against the wall. They've got to win 2 more straight, and they can end Clutch Gaming's hopes. They can end their postseason and move on to the semifinals. Clutch themselves, they want a shot at Worlds. They must win this series. They must close it out and fight some more opponents later on in the LCS playoffs. Zven had a pop-off game just about 20 minutes ago, a pentakill to help secure it on the Xayah. The fans are ready. We are ready. The players are loaded up. Let's get on to the Rift. Game 2 underway. Game 4 underway in the quarterfinals. Counting's hard.
That's true. That's your specialty, though.
Yeah.
It's all right, he gets half credit because 4 is a multiple of 2.
That's right.
And quick mass, correct.
Yeah, TSM fans forgot the first 2 games existed, so it's for them, it's game 2.
Okay.
All right, well, looks like we're going to have pretty defensive openings. Anytime there's a Braum, you have to watch out for level 1s, though.
And we've got Avali standing by with Coach Artemis to talk about Clutch Gaming.
Thanks, guys. Artemis, pretty dominant first 2 games coming out of Clutch, and then game 3, there was a little bit of a slip-up. Coming into game 4, are you worried at all that the team has lost their momentum?
No, not at all. We knew it would be a series, so TSM came to play, as we knew they would. So we're still in a good spot. I think as long as we stick to our game and do our jobs, we'll be fine.
I don't want to get your reaction to TSM's draft, first taking that Sivir away from Cody Sun and then potentially going for that late game.
I mean, Cody can play a lot. He can't just only play Sivir, so there's no trouble there. And we'll see if they can make it to late game. I think it would be a bit of a deviation from their strategy. But again, as long as we do our jobs, we'll be fine.
And last thing really quick, we saw that TSM was almost targeting Huni a little bit in terms of draft. Was he feeling that at all?
No, I mean, a lot of our guys have deep champion pools, so they can't really ban us out. So again, we just do our jobs, we'll be fine.
Well, thank you and best of luck to you. Back to you guys.
Do your jobs, fellas, and we'll be fine.
Game 2!
Azael, do your job!
And my job is to laugh.
Okay.
There you go.
That was me.
That was terrible.
I know.
Yeah.
You're better at it.
But that is your job, to be fair.
Yeah, to be
So
terrible.
We'll be fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We're into the game. It is going to be Huni having a heavy lane priority top. He went back to the comment, no surprise there, as you know, that is kind of the Rumble standard. And even in that Grasp Rumble game in the melee matchup earlier, I did actually check in on the Grasp, and he got 2 triggers of it throughout the entire laning phase, so it really didn't do anything for him. But he should have full-on lane priority. You know, Broken Blade really doesn't get to have fun in this matchup until really like post 9, and even then you're going to be getting pushed in very heavily. So we'll see what Huni can make with this lane pressure.
Yeah, mostly it's about Rumble auto-pushing with the Flame Spitter under tower and trying to force missed CS through that method. Right now, you can see it's actually fairly effective, as Broken Blade only able to get 2 early on. Lira makes an early visit down bottom. There is a ward here. Vulcan still goes for it.
Huh. That was not the most impressive engage there, but either way, not much committed either. They are going to be able to clear out the ward. Spica is here though now, and Vulcan may not actually be anticipating this. They could go forward knowing the Rek'Sai is very likely not there.
Ooh, Smoothie destroys the tunnel as well as just barely gets that cannon minion with the execute. Spica was hovering around for the possible repeat gank, and Rek'Sai goes all the way up to the opposite side of the map here to support Huni. Anytime you do have Huni, you know, auto pushing here on the Rumble, trying to deny CS to the Vladimir, any sort of extra vision and presence from the Rek'Sai early on will make him more confident in throwing out these harpoons, really trying to make Broken Blade miss as many as possible.
Yeah, Broken Blade doing pretty well thus far, though. I have to say, you know, only being down the 5 CS, not too bad at this point. And I want to see, you know, what they're going to make of this. Broken Blade actually going way too far forward there.
Huge trade. Big damage. Huni just walks into him face first, puts the shield up late.
Yeah.
Broken Blade going to rely on Empowered Q to get his health back up.
Yeah, pretty big mistake, honestly, from Broken Blade. You know, anytime Rumble walks at you in this matchup early on, you have to walk away. And it looked like he felt that he could kind of take that trade. He certainly was not able to, as demonstrated there. But, you know, down here on the bottom side, things looking fairly even. And it had been TSM getting kind of the early edges with their Xayah Rakan, so this is certainly a little bit less pressure than I think they'll be used to having on this side of the map.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at how this game is going so far. It's still top lane pressure. Broken Blade is barely slinking alive. I do want to point out as well that even the rune choices are very early game versus late game skewed. Huni with Comet, he's got Scorch in there as well. Broken Blade has CDR at level 10 and perfect timing to get a late game stopwatch, so certainly the early stats heavily favoring the Rumble, pushing him in. Not going to get turret plates yet. Again, they don't really become available for solo laners for a few minutes here, but will at least force a pretty rough recall only on the Ruby Crystal. Not ideal itemization. Can't look at the CS, but still a rough lane for Broken Blade.
Yeah, but as long as you survive and keep collecting that farm, you're going to be feeling okay. Bjergsen going to be scaling up in that mid lane, is playing the Klepto Corki, so happy to farm it out there. And, you know, really, it is going to be on clutch to make things happen. TSM, I think, will be very happy to play a farm-style game. So, you know, I think this is more in their wheelhouse of what we kind of saw during the regular season, was not TSM really being that dominant early game team. It was more about their late game team fights and getting their star players onto scaling champions where they could really make things happen, you know, once they got some items.
And in order to do that, Clutch probably looking at Lira. He's gotten the first recall off on the Rek'Sai, longsword to back it up a little bit, and he's making some heavier moves now into the jungle with this solo laner who's pushing up. Rek'Sai level 5 with Flash. Definitely can't be underestimated. Hail of Blades as well for Lira, so a lot of burst damage possible. And
Lira's almost an entire full level over Spica right now. They're both about 1/3 away to the next one, so it has been a better early start for Lira. Overall gold, 300 in Clutch's favor. You see Cody Sun with a pretty nice TP back the lane. BF sword already there, so it's not the Muramana build. It is going to be the rush to Storm Race.
And this is for, you know, this Ocean Dragon, right? They TP him back in. He has a good buy. They have the lane pressure on the bottom side. If you can grab an early Ocean at 6 minutes, which there's not going to be any TSM contest, that is so good for your lane phase. They're going to be set up very, very well to play out these next minutes of the game.
Stuff right here. Top lane still pushing, of course, 49 to 38 in CS, but that's not too bad. There's a way to be farmed, so within 10, that's pretty okay here. Mid lane close to equal, but Cuptomancy putting Bjergsen ahead in that one.
Yeah, I think that Ocean Drake is such a big denial as well. If TSM gets their hands on an Ocean Drake with these matchups for themselves, it is the dream scenario early, because that really helps them just farm it out and get to the late game that they're trying to go for. So Clutch really happy to get that one off the map and start that dragon timer ticking away. Meanwhile, as we mentioned, Lira now level 6 on the Rek'Sai. Pretty big power farming lead in the jungle. We'll see if he goes in to try and make a play.
Pretty good pull right there. Actually finds the back lane. Shields in for Smoothie. Now they find the stun on the front liner, but Aftershock makes Vulcan pretty tanky, and out they go with some decent health damage towards Zven.
All right, he's got Flash. Is he going to circle around right now? Lira's been hovering around bottom side for so long. He does see the retreat there from the TSM duo with the Rek'Sai passive. He's getting quite a bit of information, just pushing them off the turret now.
I like this. I think just a little bit of pressure. You know, trying to go for any sort of a dive would be a bit of a stretch, I think, without knowing where Spica is. But you push them back, they miss a CS or two, you get that first turret plate. So a little bit of pressure there, and they can potentially look for an invade. You know, Cody Sun is still pushing, and they are trying to go in for this blue buff. They do have to be careful about the fact that TSM can potentially make that collapse faster. but
Sylas here first.
not coming.
Damonte on the control, gonna knock that one down as well. Blue buff gonna be a pretty easy one. Goes over to Lira.
Yeah, not only do Clutch have the stronger lanes that we talked about in Champ Select, but they've got teleport advantage. Huni on Rumble can come down. Because the Rumble is constantly harassing and pushing Vladimir in, Broken Blade had to use his teleport back to lane pretty early on to try and keep up. And Huni has been able to hold on to his, so that gives full control over to Clutch in the early stages of the game till your teleport cooldown comes back up.
And you can see the early Stork boots here for Huni. You know, very likely going to be looking for a double spell pen style of build. When you do have that, your early team fighting is so incredibly powerful. You know, no one is realistically going to have much, if any, MR, you know, around these first early couple dragon fights. Yeah. So, you know, Huni can put himself in such a good position to succeed there.
On a ward, Clutch getting right in this brush. If TSM overstays, it's going to be bad. Zven's out of mana right now. But he's going to be fine, just walking back and forth and taking the slow for this one. They trade back on a Vulcan. Cody Sun will farm up this one. And keep in mind, of course, they've already grabbed the Drake, so there's not a lot of map to play for with bot lane pressure, but it was better items for Vulcan and co. Gonna look to stop the recall. Nice by Smoothie. Gonna help make sure that Zven gets back to the base. Actually chooses to stay this time.
So a lot more of a passive early game than we have seen these last couple games, but you know, again, I think this is benefiting TSM. We are seeing, you know, some gold advantages for Clutch, but they have not really turned that into much of anything just yet. None of the turrets are really under threat of going down. You know, it is just the one dragon thus far. So I'm excited to see in the next 5 minutes or so what Clutch can get done, because they have been really good about grabbing the first Rift Herald, you know, and with that coming up in the next couple minutes, with the potential next dragon coming up as well, I think they're gonna really want to try to focus on that and knock down a first turret, try to extend a bit of a lead.
Right now the game is 1,000 up for Clutch. Some of that is farm, some of that is one turret plate in both top and bottom lane. Those side lanes doing so well right now for Clutch Gaming.
Yeah, I especially focus on a Rek'Sai. It's a fully completed warrior right now. Lira has so much damage potential. With Hail of Blades, Rek'Sai with Flash, post level 7 and a completed warrior, he can definitely make his presence felt around the jungle. They're starting up the Rift Herald immediately, kind of as expected there. Yep. Able to take all these neutral objectives because they have lane priority, they have stronger dueling jungler here, and Vulcan was able to get off with the roam and help him out.
And I would love to see just them use this top lane, right? You know, try to actually get Huni out of that lane so that he is not just sitting farming against the Vladimir, so that he can get down elsewhere on the map, start making plays. You know, he really is one of the big catalysts for Clutch Gaming, and being on this champion that's so strong in the early levels when that ultimate is active, I think would be very, very beneficial.
And the first 10 minutes for Clutch seem to be the same almost every single time. They actually recalled Cody and Vulcan, walked them up towards the top lane. Cody said, all right, it's safe. I'll go back to bottom lane instead and keep the farm going, but they have consistently gone for this Herald. They've claimed it every time, and yeah, I do want to see it get used. They're going to find the gold somewhere.
All right, it looks like Clutch are going to go for a reset, then potentially set up for this dragon. Then I would want them to use the Rift Herald. They have about 3 minutes left to get some real gold value out of it with some turret plates. And with this dragon spawning, I think we're going to have action on the bottom half of the map.
3v3, Spica's nearby here as well. Going for the play, now they spot each other. Big knockers with the cross, let's go by Zven. Now they're re-engaged. They found the first stun to one player, now the TP's coming by as well. Braum comes in, but they wait to find that first kill. A great equalizer with flash in, they've got some stopwatches. First blood comes through, and so far TSM coming ahead, but now it's a 2 for 2. The fight continues to get so much damage, and they will find that kill now onto Huni, and it's more for Broken Blade, looking for a bit more. Damonte chasing in. Broken Blade will just fall a 3 for 3. They can afford the stopwatch popped. Now it's up for Bjergsen. Will he survive? Maybe just barely. One more shot. A 3 for 3 overall. First blood to TSM.
What a scrappy fight down there on the bottom side. An absolute bloodbath. The 6 members go down, but it is Clutch that comes out on top because they have more of that health remaining. They have the Ocean Dragon, so they can start to work away on this tower.
And I want to see what the repercussions are going to be, because there is a dragon available, Cloud Drake up. Off the resets here, we'll see who gets back out to the field. Here's another look at how it started out. Both teams are looking for a play bottom side, so both teams start teleporting in. Spica goes in onto Vulcan, barely gets his stopwatch off to buy time. During that time, Lira burns down. He flashes over to get that kill in the jungler 1-man. Then it's the 2 teleport locations that make the difference. Huni ends up going down. Then Damonte turns it back around. He proto-belt flashes in to chase Bjergsen and Zven off, allowing the extra burst here onto Broken Blade. And Bjergsen flashing away after does live. but it was so incredibly close. And after the reset in the aftermath here, we can check in on it. It is Clutch, back out to the Dragon, trying to set it up. Pulled here by Lira initially.
And I do think that was so smart from Damonte to look for those additional kills because Broken Blade was all but wrapped up. And, you know, a lot of the fight came down to how well TSM was able to deal with Lira, though. Lira really got very little done in that fight. He got some damage down on Spica, didn't even get his ultimate off, though, and wasn't on top of the carry. And this early Warrior Rek'Sai really does have the potential to zero out a carry if he can get on top of it, but he wasn't willing to actually commit his flash early on to try to flash on Zven, who had no spell shield. And I think, you know, had he maybe done that, the fight could look differently.
Meanwhile, more turret plates to Damonte on the Sylas. Yeah. Exactly where Clutch wants some of their early money.
They do still have the Rift, though, so he's got to drop it now if he wants to try to get the benefit from it. You know, Lira has been dropping that pre-14 the other game.
They just go for the engage. A stun comes across. Will they buy enough time, though? Vulcan down to half HP. Lira's got to be careful as well. Burrows still going to go down. TSM finding the engage. A second stun as well. Vulcan will drop. And TSM 2-0.
Yeah, that's huge for TSM. Not only do they get the kills again, now they're headed for Damonte. Tower down, Bjergsen double buff.
And he's dead. With Red, he's got the slows. Damonte's got to find some way out of all this one. Will eventually have the E-dodge yet again, but can he buy enough space? Looking out for Smoothie. Finds a bit of a knockup. Hits a slow. Look at the burst damage. Oh, are you kidding? He nearly finds the kill, but Bjergsen finds the snipe.
Big one there for Bjergsen. Gets the kill in the end. You can see at the beginning, too, Smoothie knew. He was hesitating from joining that because he didn't want Damonte to steal his ultimate. Here's another look at it, though. Spica over the back of the blue pit, slides right in to find that initiation for TSM. Not only do they get the kills, they delay the spawn of the Rift Herald, so there's not going to be any turret plate reward for the Rift Herald. It is eventually used mid by Lira, but it's just going to be tower damage, not gold reward.
Yeah, that is a huge win, honestly, for TSM. And they have really held Lira down. You know, in this early game, the Rek'Sai has not been effective whatsoever. You know, Jarvan actually involved in 6 out of 6 kills, going for the full tank build, rushing a stone plate as his second item. He is likely going to have a lot more power in these team fights, and you can see TSM also have the gold where they'd want it. 3 kills on Bjergsen, 2 kills on Zven, on these hyper-scaling marksmen that are going to be really, really strong later on.
Feel pretty good. Still, it is a small lead to Clutch Gaming. 1,000 up, plus the 2 Drakes, Cloud and Ocean. First turret going down to the bot lane. Damonte split pushing is a lot of the reason for that gold. He's going to be the one doing a lot of heavy lifting here. He's got the most gold on his team thereabouts. Now we got to look at the mid lane again. A knock-up on a Vulcan Equalizer over the top. They will knock down the support, but the trade kill comes through on a Jarvan. And now the shield comes up, but it's
Broken Blade.
Down. Broken Blade to the back line. He's going to find Huni. Looking for a second as Damonte slowed, forced to jump backwards. Big play right there. TSM 2-1.
And TSM again coming out on top. Clutch trying to force these plays, knowing that they are on a bit of a clock here. You're not able to make it happen, though, as all the TSM members collapse, and they just knock down Huni.
Yeah, they make the call once again. Spica starts it off for TSM, goes in with the Jarvan, sacrifices his life for the greater good to enable to get 2 kills for TSM. They're really trying to fund their late game builds here. Here's another look. Vulcan tried to go in on that minion. When you see the Nautilus that exposed, they started off, and Huni gets a big equalizer to come in and flank, but after that stun, it's Vladimir's time to shine. Flank there from Broken Blade, level 11 now on the Vladimir. Zones the whole team off, sequestering another kill.
Looks pretty solid right there. Still, though, the game pretty close. 500 now. The only lead the Clutch Gaming has. TSM working their way back up to this one. Second one coming through soon for Zven. Still waiting for the Rage Blade for Cody Sun here as well. Been good in a lot of spots. Double flat pen done for Clutch Gaming's mid laner. Halfway there for Huni, as he's got the Leandries. That's really good poke damage and good teamfight damage as well. Level 11 for both these top lane mages. Level 11 for both mid laners.
Yeah, and it's really going to come down to the execution because, you know, TSM, while they do have a very strong composition, really good team fighting, you know, Clutch has kind of had the X factor at times in this series, and certainly there will be opportunities for Sylas to steal a big ultimate to make something happen there. Vladimir ultimate stolen still can be pretty powerful as a damage amp across for them, and they do have pretty strong engage with this Nautilus and dive, you know, with Cody Sun and Huni and Lira, Damonte really all being able to follow up. So TSM have to make sure that they are always doing their due diligence, getting vision, and having these front-to-back team fights where it's their frontliners that are the only ones able to be hit.
You can see TSM feeling pretty confident now after that last team fight victory. They've got a lot of vision around Dragon. They're looking to set up for that while Huni takes the top turret here. With it being another Cloud Drake in 18 seconds. See if they go for another team fight. A lot of these kills have gone to Bjergsen and gone to Zven. The backline damage for TSM is getting very big very quickly.
He walks up, finds a bit of a slow. Not sure if there's going to be an engage on a Vulcan, but he is forced to queue backwards as the minions go down. TSM first for the Southern River. Cloud Drake would tie the movement speed buff that Clutch has, and they start this breakup right away. Spica spotted by the ward as Clutch are moving forward. They've got Huni's ultimate available. When does the engage come in? Damage towards Smoothie. Sivir ult pop.
Broken blade behind.
And here comes a flank play. A flash for Huni, but he's isolated now against the team. Eagles comes over the top. Gonna go for damage onto Zven. Cannot bring them down, though, and TSM find the 1-for-0. Now the dunk to start, but he is left alone, and down goes Spica.
Yeah, the play was over for TSM. They found the kill onto Huni. Spica re-engages to give it over to Clutch, and they haven't taken the objective, so that is going to be Clutch rotating down for the Dragon now.
Yeah, that'll cost them the Dragon as well as Spica's life there, and maybe another kill.
A lot of damage when he puts the shield up, does stay alive, but watch out for the re-engage. There's a lot of damage to the Corki. They're going to find the stun, they're going to find the kill, but now the re-engage on the back line. Cody Sun says TSM. Is Cody done? Broken Blade running for his life, goes back for the re-engage, flashes for Vulcan, finds the empowered Q, but the follow-up is there, and Clutch Gaming a delayed ace.
Cody Sun 7-0-2 now. He got so much out of that fight, finding the perfect moment to dive into the backline as TSM wanted to re-engage and did take down Damonte, but they lost track of the Kaisa.
Yeah, Lira finally got to make a play on the Rek'Sai. He tunnel flashes in for the knockup, allowing Cody Sun to get the big ultimate into the backline. That's going to be the turret. That's going to be the Dragon. And Clutch Gaming strike back. Here's another look at the initial flank from TSM. Broken Blade at the top of your screen comes from behind. They get the flash out of Huni, and every member of TSM able to collapse around him. But then Spica goes in, nobody around to follow. So he donates a kill back over to Clutch, only for the story to be reversed.
Yeah, and then it looked like it was just going to be a Clutch Dragon, but TSM decides to come over here, try to stop them. Smoothie absorbing so much damage, and the Braum passive getting triggered on Damonte lets them take him down, but then Lira flashing into the back like Cody Sun flies in right after him, knocking down kill after kill after kill, and Broken Blade, good job to get this kill here onto Vulcan, but does go down in the effort, and Cody Sun got so much out of that. Both the pieces of his mod now completed just off that one fight.
Yeah, he crucially had the Rage Blade already done by the time that fight started, so his late game DPS in the end of that fight just so high. It would put down the rest right there. So 7-0-2, a great score line. Looks like Clutch Gaming could carry through the bottom lane.
Important to keep track of all the flashes that were used in that last team fight. Damonte is the only one left with a flash play available.
Also worth noting, Cody Sun level 13. That's higher than Bjergsen and
Damonte. On the
Damonte.
side, Lira gets up, Huni is caught, puts the equalizer down though, and they will trade him a Spica 1-for-1. Now Smoothie gets back on the wall, stays alive with Damonte. He wants more, he's in range, Primo play, puts it on, and Cody's in there again. Now can he stay alive? Got the Hex Drinker, got the damage output. He's gonna try, the stopwatch builds in space, and he can only snipe. Big damage out of the Corki, the backline, they just do so much damage, and throughout it all, TSM finds the kills.
Broken Blade on the Vladimir, getting so much done. They could not get through him. He created so much space for Zven and Bjergsen here, and that was an enormous team fight. If they lose that one by the Baron, it could have been Clutch getting a huge advantage, but instead, TSM stands strong.
They are laying everything out on the line in these team fights. Look at the small margins. Here's another look at the initiation. Spica goes in onto Huni. He gets burned down with the Rumble Equalizer. Then it's a chase over the wall. Damonte does get the big Hemoblade onto 3 into Cody Sun, but it is this retreat package from Bjergsen. Look at it burning down every member of Clutch. They all get taken down to low HP around Broken Blade. So this huge AoE of multiple members chasing onto the package was the mistake of Clutch, going too deep into the jungle, overreaching, over-chasing TSM, who fight back.
Yeah, it's so easy to underestimate that package damage. It is, not quite an equalizer, but it's up there as far as the damage it can actually put out. And, Broken Blade getting so much value out of that stopwatch now has been upgraded to the Zonias. that was a game-changing stopwatch right there, and that really does show the power of the rune that you were talking about earlier. He had that perfect time, and he saved it till 20 minutes into the game and won the team fight off the back of that.
Big plays now, TSM on the map, but still working back from a 2,500 gold deficit. Clutch Gaming do have the lead in money. They have the lead in Drake. Still double Cloud plus Ocean putting them ahead. Third Cloud spawning in a minute 45. And we'll see. This one is probably going to be the latest Baron of the series. We're 23 minutes in. It's not dead yet, so record broken here.
We're in uncharted territory, my friend.
We are.
And you can tell, like, Cody, you know, with this Maw, really does want to get aggressive. He knows that Bjergsen and Broken Blade are going to be basically fully magic damage from the solos, and he has to be very worried about that. If you want to be diving into the backline, you need to make sure you're not just going to get lit up immediately.
I mean, honestly, whenever you even see a Vladimir, every AD carry knows.
Oh, yeah.
The Vlad is coming for you.
He will do 1,900 damage by himself. Better get a Maw. So smart choice here, but it does mean that Cody's not going to get the Empowered W on anytime soon. Ability power going to be hard to find. Maybe Banshees comes in next to further, you know, that agenda, but that's going to be a pretty late pickup. And yeah, this top lane matchup I think doesn't really get any better for Broken Blade. With Morellonomicon done, you can cut the healing down, Huni. And yeah, just Broken Blade weathering the storm, getting burned. Max health damage every time a knee lands.
Yeah, the Morello really a big pickup there for the 1v1. You know, critical that they do have a healing debuff. You know, 2 even here with Damonte having that completed, so that will be nice. Broken Blade, you know, potentially can get to a point in this matchup where you can just 100-0 the Rumble with one kind of all-in combo. But you know, that is quite a ways off, and Cody Sun has just been doing a really good job at maximizing farm, at soaking up experience, and as a result, you know, so high level, so strong in this game, and it is still Clutch, you know, kind of dictating the pace. They are looking for a potential third Wind Dragon here, which would give them so much additional move speed and the ability to kind of pick people off in a side lane.
Yeah, Cloud Drakes would be very easy for them to pick up. And then look at all of the groundwork they have laid for Baron. They're already looking ahead to the next phase of their plan. Control Ward is in the Baron pit, and they've got the red side jungle fully warded up in preparation. See if they can actually find one of those picks, because they want to utilize those jungle walls to help out Huni, make it easier to land a big Rumble ultimate. TSM know this. After seeing the dragon taken, they head in to try and clear out some of that vision while they can.
And it's safely done. They knocked down most of these wards. There's still a few inside that north jungle. And also with the squad coming over, gives Huni some space to knock down minis on the bottom side, get some damage to the turret, run back away. Not going to be picked off here or anything, but if you can hit Broken Blade, that's going to be some decent damage. And in fact, does so. Broken Blade's done a half HP already.
Yeah, Cody Sun now. You know, so much of the game is really going to be relying on him as well as the playmaking here, you know, out of the Sylas, out of the Nautilus in the front line, but they don't really have any true front line, so he cannot just sit back and go front line versus front line. He needs, I think, to be able to dive into the back line and really play these fights aggressively.
Yeah, meanwhile, Zven on the Sivir has 6 kills to his name. That is a 3-item Sivir. You get your crit multipliers online. If those, you know, Rek'Sai start bouncing between the whole team, there's nothing for Clutch to stop them. Both marksmen have huge damage output potential.
Yep, Vlad going to be amping the damage, and they have tons of frontline as well. Ooh. You know, you just play front to back of your TSM. Nothing tricky needed here from Zven or Bjergsen.
Spica consider the play, didn't put that one through just yet. Turret down a half HP down the bottom lane. Smoothie might be caught, has to flash, but there might be round 2. If Lira goes for the flash knockup, now he's going to W backwards. The stolen ult will not find a kill either. Spica over the wall. Wards on top of Clutch make them have to run away. But Broken Blade's not part of this fight. He's on the other side back in bottom lane. Engage not going to be had, though. Sivir ult, of course, easy to disengage with, so TSM not attacked yet.
Yeah, Cody also still in the bot lane, so Clutch I don't think are trying to take this fight. They're actually, you know, pinging towards that bot lane turret, but they have to get back here and defend their mid lane tier 2 as TSM is going to push this up and then exit out towards the Baron, but Vulcan potentially could look for an engage.
Keep in mind, Cody can ult into these fights. Like, now he's, of course, just in mid lane, so it's fine, but he can be at some kind of range to still join. Defense. Vlad's coming over now.
Yeah, keep your eyes open because Vladimir tracking is very important. Flank from Broken Blade can determine the team fight.
I do think that Clutch may want to actually wait and spend their gold before the next fight, though. There's enough for a completed Zeal here from Cody Sun. There's 2,300 gold on Huni. You know, they're sitting on like 8,000 gold right now across their team.
They gotta be smart then. TSM, though, still are the ones with the lane pressure. They pushed in mid yet again. They're gonna get turret damage. They can see him coming down. Clutch take a boomerang blade almost again, and the siege continues. Is this the fight that Clutch go for? TSM outmaneuvering them. Anchor not gonna land. The turret's getting down lower and lower. Here comes the attempted engage. The ult comes across for some damage, but not yet the equalizer. There it comes over the top. Here comes the damage up, but back out to the front line, and here comes Broken Blade. The dunk over the top. It's the 1-for-0. Cody Sun is not dead, but they have killed the Sylas. Now they're re-engaged. Second kill comes through for Clutch. This fight is going the way of Clutch. They found the 2-for-1.
Even with all that gold in their pockets, they're still able to come out on top in the fight now. And Spica is down, so there is the potential to threaten in the Baron area. It looks like they will now reset, though, and spend up that gold. Huni gonna have nearly a fully completed item when he does go back to base if he wants to get a cheaper one. But let's watch this one more time. Vulcan ultimate through Smoothie over onto Bjergsen. The TP coming in from Damonte. Equalizer layered to kind of push them in towards it. Broken Blade diving into the backline, but not quite enough damage to get through the Moss shield. The ult as well for Kaisa.
Yeah, and Damonte teleport flanks in with the flash as well. Secure those 2 kills, goes down himself.
Whoa.
The team starts up the Baron. They're burning it down.
It's not there though, he's got a TP.
Spica's nowhere close by. This is like, there's no smite. It cannot be smited. It's just a matter of if they can show up in time. It's still pretty down. 3,000 health. This is going to Clutch yet again. And look at that. The game broken wide open. 5,000 gold lead.
Yeah, that is huge. Cody Sun just cancels his base, goes right over to the Baron, and they just straight up burn it down. 3 straight games, or rather, 4 straight games where they've gotten the first Baron, I do believe now. So Clutch looking really good off the back of that. That's a full IE bought by Cody Sun. That's how much gold he was sitting on. A full Void Staff bought by Huni. So many items now coming through for this team. Lira even going lock-it, knowing his time, as this kind of offensive threat is over. They are looking to run the map with these items.
Good for Vladimir.
Objective control for Clutch Gaming has been the name of the game. Teleport is coming in from TSM. Looks like they want to force something at this next dragon. Infernal Drake, 12 seconds and counting. This is while Huni split pushing. Teleport is available for him, and he's level 16.
Yeah, we'll see if they make the call, but they don't have any vision right here, so it is difficult. Broken Blade's already ready to flank. I think you should just give this up and just push mid lane.
This is a Baron buff. Baron buff you cannot base race against. Okay. So Clutch is going to get multiple towers with it in exchange for this Infernal.
Keep going for the inhibitor.
Yep. And they're going to try top and mid tier 2, both down. Onto the inhibitor turrets now themselves, and TSM can come in for the flank, but they're actually a bit sandwiched. Zven and Smoothie in for the base. The rest of the squad through the base gate itself, and they will, with one auto attack, not going to land it, but here comes the re-engage. Here's the equalizer. Gigantic stun could have been found, but no, going to be stymied out by Broken Blade getting away. Still low health, one auto would knock that down, and there it is. 3 turrets picked up as trade for the Infernal Drake, and with the health bars the way they are, inhibitor itself will go down.
Yeah, TSM will have to go back to the fountain after the equalizer from Huni, so that means it's enough time for the inhibitor to be taken. Very critical that they don't have the Nautilus ultimate or the equalizer now for a next team fight, so they have to back off after TSM do heal. Objective secured for Clutch, though.
And there's still a minute and a half left on this Baron buff. The entire series resting on a knife's edge. TSM cannot afford to lose a single fight here, or their semifinal hopes could be over.
Even a locket picked up by Lira. Yeah. Throwback here to the support jungler now. Rek'Sai just going to be a flash in for the knock-up, and maybe some armor shredding as well.
That's fine. He's going to be there to help his team stay alive. 6,500 gold puts Clutch Gaming ahead. Baron buff, 55 seconds remaining.
Also has picked up a stopwatch. Keep track of all the Zhonyas and stopwatches in the match so far. It's just Lira, Damonte, as well as Broken Blade with these possible big plays. Bottom side will be taken very quickly. Baron buff still 40 seconds on it, so that's another wave after this Clutch have to work with. They can get 2 pushes on this tower.
Bjergsen does have package though, and he might want to try to go aggressively here. Clutch have got to respect the power of that package, but Cody Sun getting ricocheted very low.
They're going to find the engage right in the middle of all of them. Equalizer coming over the top. He will play as well. This is going to be 1 kill already though for TSM, and they're going to find Lira as well. 2-0 on the engage. What a start there for Spica.
Yeah, Clutch just stepped way too far forward. A couple ricochets, but Cody Sun to half HP, and that was the trigger to go in for TSM. They see him get low. They made the call.
They had to do that. Very big play there by TSM to be able to stop that push. take down some of the Barons.
Zven is now on 100% crit, so those ricochets are going to hurt a lot. And watch this, he was already low. Another ricochet goes over onto him, half health. EQ in, ultimate comes through. The package available for Bjergsen. Broken Blade flashes into the back line, making so much space for him to just knock down these couple kills.
Yeah, Cody Sun got 1, maybe 2 autos off in that team fight. They had to pop all of their shields, ultimate out of it, and TSM able to take that split-second initiation and make it count.
And as an extra little piece, Huni was actually overheated and silenced during that engage, so actually never got to equalize, never got to trade some damage back. It might have looked different if he could have. Instead, it was a 2 for 0, well-timed, going in when Rumble couldn't do anything.
Spica, time and time again here on the Jarvan with the initiations for TSM. Let's see if it is enough. They're finally going to claim this outer tower on the top side and get some gold back for themselves. Still, Clutch with a 6,000 almost gold lead.
And we've got to remember the power of this next Elder for Clutch. They have 4 dragons to their name. There's already a ridiculous amount of dot damage, burn damage coming through from this Rumble. If you get a 4-dragon Elder onto this Huni Rumble, you could just 100-0 someone with an equalizer.
You touch the lava, you're going down.
Red is hot. Don't step in it.
All right. Still super minions heading mid for Clutch. No other objectives for them to pressure on, though. So TSM able to buy some more time with that last play. 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the mid inhibitor to respawn. It looks like they should be able to get there. I mean, Sivir right now, you talked about the wave clear with those crits. Fully operational. Then the damage output, it's about keeping those AD carries with some auto attack uptime.
Yeah, Bjergsen as well. I mean, he's closing in on his Essence Reaver. You know, we see all these items completed for Broken Blade as well. You know, TSM has all the items on their carries. I think gold lead be damned. If you execute correctly, TSM can win any team fight, but it's all comes down to execution.
No flag onto 4. Equalizer over the top, gonna get a lot of damage on the Spica. A stopwatch buys even more time. Broken Blade burning down into the backline. Zven is dangerously low, and Cody Sun signs the death warrant. 4-0 on the team fight. Into the mid lane they go.
And that is the nail in the coffin. Clutch, make no mistake about it. They're going to take down TSM and head to Detroit.
What? Absolutely great.
What a team fight from Clutch.
There's the last knockup. There's the push and the ace. And what a team fight. What a game. What a series. Clutch Gaming 3-1. Knock down TSM.
That last initiation, Damonte goes in to get the huge Vladimir ultimate, and Huni forces Bjergsen out of the entire team fight. They split TSM apart for the victory.
Yeah, that was really incredible. The Vladimir all hitting so many members, amping the Rumble damage. Huni got so many people so low, and then Cody Sun had the tag to ult into the backline and finish off these low health members. And Clutch 3-1 do take it. Definitely an upset victory for them, and maintain their 100% win rate in playoffs against TSM. 2-0.
Yeah. Clutch Gaming were 1-9 against playoff teams coming into the postseason, and they showed up to play. Their early games were great. Their mid-game team fighting explosive. They said, we're going to go forward, we're going to play aggressively. The Kaisa is going to be backline damage. That's what we picked her for. That worked out great.
Yeah, Cody Sun 1 death in the series.
Yeah.
That is it. So still having an incredible run of it here, but really all the Clutch members did step up. And I think, you know, this was a very impressive game for them, considering how the early game went. You know, the Rek'Sai wasn't able to get ahead, wasn't being very effective, but they were able to find the critical team fights and really perform well in them. And for TSM now, it's hopes for the regional gauntlet. You know, they have to look towards that. I do believe it's very likely that they will qualify, if not guaranteed. So
yeah, they made finals in spring. They're in the regional qualifier. Their hopes for Worlds are still alive. And with this win, so are Clutches. They had to win this series, have the shot at Worlds. Now, of course, they're top 4. Winning the split does it. Winning regional qualifier will do it. So I want to see now how much more they can do.
Yeah, I mean, their coach talked about it, right? A lot of these players with super deep champion pools and utilizing them effectively throughout this series. So it's going to be a difficult opponent for the next one coming up. Depending on who chooses them, Team Liquid get their choice, so we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, Clutch is going to throw some punches. That much is for sure. Like, they have a lot of different picks that they're willing to go with. You know, we've seen the Kiana, we've seen Assassins, we've seen that look, we've seen the more kind of standard macro-style team fight style that they can play. And they are really showing that some of these improvements are for real. You know, a lot of people had been kind of doubting their performance because it had been against all the lower teams, you know, myself included, but they have shown that they can take down these playoff teams and really looked good today.
Did look good today. They took down TSM, and so for more on their semifinal berth, let's send it over to Avli and the Clutch solo laners.
Thanks, guys. I am here with the victorious Clutch Gaming players, Damonte, Huni. Congratulations on the win. Damonte, I want to come to you first because we were talking before this game and you said beating TSM would mean revenge for you for them knocking you out last year and also taking down Bjergsen, a player who you looked up to. And now you took him down, you're going to Detroit. So what does this win in this moment really mean for you?
Honestly, I might even say it doesn't feel as good as I thought it was going to. I feel like we just played really well. We played our game, you know. Like I came into LCS last year. It was my first rookie split. I got to play quarterfinals versus Bjergsen then, and like I feel like if I beat him then, wow, it was like maybe it would have been such a like crazy upset that I did that. But now I feel like honestly we just play well as a team. It's not some crazy thing that like I beat Bjergsen anymore, and I'm just really happy.
I'm glad to hear the happiness. Is there maybe an underlying reason for that? Do you feel like you are maybe at the top of your game, or is there still more that you can improve on?
I think just so much credit will go to ThinkCard and Artemis, and also bringing on Cody Sun. These three people have been just an amazing addition to our team, and yeah, just so much love is going on in our team right now, and it's been amazing.
All right, Huni, I want to come to you. I want to get your reaction from this series going against TSM. Is this what you expected?
It was kind of expected. I know. I mean, because it's like TSM had these days, it's like recently, like they have a lot of struggle at the like regular seasons, like end of the regular season there, and then we catch out like, their kind of weaknesses, and then we're actually our vibe was actually improving a lot, and you know, I mean that's the thing that like we're actually we got the confidence from regular season, and then more like they lost their confidence from regular season, so I think that was pretty big deal that heading this quarterfinal. That is Clutch versus TSM, that was like kind of the most important thing. And that's why I was like kind of expected we're gonna have a win. I knew we're gonna have a drop some game, but you know, I think we played pretty well.
Yeah, let's talk about how well you played. Because in game 2, we saw the Kiana and Rumble combo, and all of your ults were in sync. So tell me, what was the coordination like behind it? Who was making the calls, and how did you guys just build up this synergy with these two champions?
I mean, I don't know if there's really any calls. I feel like me and Huni just like we've been playing together for a while now. We see the same windows, and I mean we've played Counter Rumble before. It's just super explosive, super fun. So yeah, the team's got to watch out for that.
Yeah, I think it's really same for me. It's like we've been playing just together a lot, and then I taught you 10 years how to play League of Legends from last year. So like he's the real little Huni. So you know he's playing like Huni, and of course we're playing as a double Huni. No one can beat us.
Double Huni combo. Well, let's see how that takes you into semifinals. Team Liquid got to choose the opponents. Do you think that they will be choosing Clutch?
Yeah, I would think that there's gonna be chance, but I feel like also there's maybe not chance because we actually shown that like what we have right now, and that we actually know how to play League of Legends really well. Like also we've shown that we beat actually TSM, which is like, you know, it's not small. And I think even though we versus Team Liquid at the semifinal, just try best as we can. I know they're pretty good, but we still trust each other, believe each other. We're playing for fam, play for friends, play for everything, teammates, whatever staff. Just we got the best.
All right, Damonte, last thing for you. Anything that you'd like to say to the Clutch Gaming fans who are probably ecstatic after this victory?
Yeah, just thank you so much. There's just been so much insane support, whether it be Clutch fans, Dignitas fans. It's been amazing, and I appreciate everyone who is behind us.
Well, guys, thank you so much. And once again, congratulations on the win and moving on to semifinals. That is it for us here on the stage. Let's hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much.